We need to think of a new advert for freebets.com.
Get your best betting offers from freebets.com.
Yeah, that'll do.
The following deals are now live.
Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps with Boxing Social in partnership with freebets.com, Forged Irish Stout, Ready to Fight, and Empire Fight Store.
Four of them.
Could you do all that?
Come on.
I'm just kidding. Who are we talking about here? Anyways, we just wrapped up the press conference between Conor Benn and Peter Dobson. I'm looking forward to it.
So I'm looking forward to the show.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's my job to talk it up, but when I'm talking it up, I know whether I get excited or not, and I like the card. Ammo Williams in a great fight, Khalil Cohen a war, Dobson's talking a great game, Conor's under pressure. First time we've ever had a Brit headline in Las Vegas, which is amazing, and it's a big night for him, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a great show.
Can we talk a bit about Ammo Williams real quick?
Yeah.
Because he's ranked number 5 by the WBC. We have number 4, Shiraz. We have number 2, Chris Eubank Jr. Yeah. There's so many options there for him. Obviously, should he be successful in the night? Are those sort of the names that you're looking to sort of match him up with, maybe over in the UK?
Yeah, he's 3 in the WBA as well. Like, he's on the verge of fighting for a world title. He had quite a limited amateur career. I think it's like 40 fights, knocked a lot of people out, but I would like to see him get a little bit more experience.
Okay.
It's a good fight on Saturday. This kid's strong, like he's got nothing to lose, but just see a little bit of maturity now from Ammo. Like, he's experienced quite a lot, you know, personally and also in his career. So all those names you mentioned, yeah, absolutely, you know.
And obviously, bless you, and obviously going the distance with Steve Rolls, a veteran, I'm sure gives him more confidence moving forward.
Cordell Booker stopped him at MSG, beat Kieran Conway on the Canelo card. Like, he's a good young fighter. And I think now he was a bit wild when he was younger, but that made him dangerous. But now he actually understands the game a little bit more. So I think he's a great prospect.
Absolutely. Conor Benn, we just finished an interview with him just a few moments ago, and man,
Can you stop
we talked about
emotional. Like, he's fighting. He's got to have a
to.
fight with another man. I don't want him to be sad and like, you know.
And I felt, I told him, I didn't expect.
Like, crying. I was like, mate, can we stop
He
this?
just said, he goes, you just pulled it out of me, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. But obviously there's a lot going on there, and he still feels like he's healing, you know, and throughout this process, and it's really hard to watch.
You've got to imagine that. Again, I know everyone's got their opinion. My opinion, plain and simple. The kid is innocent. I know him inside out, and I know he's innocent. Imagine what he's gone through. Like, he cares about boxing. He cares about his name. He cares about opinions. And it's been brutal for him. It's nearly 2 years since the test. Like,
when you were 26 and all the stuff online, would you have been able to handle that?
I was, you know, really, when did I start? 30. I mean, I had a career before it, but not in the public eye where you're getting abused every day.
Right.
Like, but at 26, even harder. And you have to, like, I get abused every day now. Does it bother me? I'd rather not. But you just become, you know, I always feel that, you know, if you're a man of faith, like he is particularly, and, you know, Tony Sims over there of similar stature, and I believe that you're given experiences in life to prepare you for the long road, right? And what he's gone through in the last couple of years will really, in a way, mould him into the man that he will become.
Character building.
Yes, and I you know, people always, it's very difficult to be a man of faith like he is and say, why is this happening to me? You know, and you can talk about, it's all right, it's God's plan, and, you know, he's giving you a challenge, and, you know, he's preparing you for this to come and this to come, but very hard to accept that when he's going, that's not fair. Like, so, but people will watch this interview, people will watch Conor Benn get emotional, go, oh yeah, like, you know, but I just say to those people, imagine if he is innocent, which I really wouldn't have spent 2 years of my life answering interviews about Conor Benn if I didn't believe him.
He said he spent about $500,000 on law.
Much more than that. Right. And, you know, all I can tell you, and it'd be very easy for me to hang someone out to dry or people out to dry who told him to do things or say things to get him off the hook. And he said, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I ain't lying. I'm not going to,
Yeah.
all you got to do is say this. This came from people, again, I ain't going to say, but, people who shouldn't have said what they said. And his response was, absolutely no. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I never took it, I never done, But then it's hard to say, well, what is your excuse? And then you have to go away, you have to spend the money, you have to do your own research, you have to find out why that could be in your system,
Right.
of which has been accepted by people now. But unfortunately, because he's still in a case, everyone's like, well, why don't you just show everyone? You're in a legal case, like with the board and with UKAD. So hopefully in time, people will see that.
You can't win with opinions, though.
No, but also, not everyone's going to always believe him.
Right.
And also, you get to a stage in your life where you go, I don't fucking care. Honestly, if you don't believe me, don't worry about it. But that's actually the comfort stages of life, where you go, if you don't like me, I couldn't give a fuck.
That happens
Do
when
know
you
what
get
I mean?
older, right?
It does, 100%. I'm 44.
that,
Listen,
yeah.
I still, again, if I could have a pat on the back every time, I choose it every time. But really, most of the time now it is, hey, I couldn't give a fuck what you got to say. Like, I am where I am.
What's the most common insult you get online? Like, what's the one? Mine's about my laugh.
Yeah,
Do you think my laugh's fake, Ed?
No, I think it's a bit of a, not a nervous laugh, but it's a reactive laugh. Do you know what I
Yes,
mean?
very
But
true.
it's also your, what's the word I'm looking for? Your stamp. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's me.
Yeah.
But
So-
I don't try for it to be.
No,
But
it's
it's the
definitely not-
most
you definitely-
criticized thing.
Yeah, you definitely don't put it on.
Yeah.
I mean, it is quite out there. Do you know what I mean? But it's also
know
like,
when I'm in a room.
You've interviewed me for, I don't know, 12, 13 years or whatever it's been, and you've always done it in every interview. So, but
Do you know what though?
I don't really get like personally, like about, I don't know, when I was a little bit overweight, I'd get a little bit of that, but not really. The criticism I get is just, you're this, you're a fraud, you're a liar, you're a joke, it's like, the thing is at the end of the day, it's mad that you can feel offended by people that really couldn't walk in your shoes or do what you do, especially if you're a fighter. I mean, you imagine how hard it is for a fighter. These guys, like, it is the toughest sport in the world.
Athletes have it really
Training
hard.
Camp, stuff like that, like, and only a very tiny percentage of the world could do what fighters do. Yet you might be offended or hurt by someone that literally, like, it's the maddest sport in the world. Where, and I'm not saying if you sit on a couch and you're overweight and you eat pizza that you're not allowed an opinion. Of course you are. But the fact that could affect you when you've got this guy, you're like, mate,
Right.
come out for a run with me tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. up these steps. You will literally have a cardiac arrest and die. Like, but when you're so passionate about something, opinions do hurt, and you want to be, especially when you're younger, you want to be respected. Conor wants to be respected. That's what hurt him so much about this, the fact that people would think he would cheat. Because what matters the most to him is his name and the legacy. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
And that was tainted by all this, and that hurt him more than anything. That hurt him more than the money. That hurt him more than the loss of fights. It was the fact that people questioned who he is and who the Benn name is.
Right.
And we hope one day that that can be resolved. But if it can't, it's life,
Right.
and you've got to get on with
Water off a duck's ass at some point. Lastly, because I see Maddie over there wants to go have
it.
lunch.
Get some food, yeah, I'm starving.
So Chris Eubank Sr. made mention, obviously, that his son, he doesn't see his son ever going to 160 again. The fight with Conor Benn is basically off the table. What are your thoughts on his comments?
As I understand it, Chris Eubank Sr. has no influence or nothing to do with Chris Eubank Jr.'s career. Chris Eubank Jr. has been at 160 for ages. I mean, all this stuff. What about Conor Benn going from 147 to 160? No one's going, like, that's dangerous. You're saying it's dangerous for Chris Eubank to continue fighting at the weight division he's boxed at most of his career. What about Conor Benn coming up fighting a much bigger man? So, I see the stuff. Really, Chris Eubank Sr. is now just championing Harlem because that's his new little project. We got no interest in Harlem. We want a big fight next.
Right.
If it's not a Chris Eubank, it ain't a Eubank. But Harlem, who knows in time? But that's not on the radar at all at the moment. So it's down to Chris Eubank Jr. if he wants to take the challenge of fighting Conor Benn. And right now, when you say to someone you can make 2 or 3 times more to fight Conor Benn, who is 2 divisions below the fighters you will be facing, and you're still not choosing to accept the challenge, I ask why. What are you afraid of? So let's see if Mr. Junior will take the fight.
Let's see. Well, thank you for your time. Maybe tomorrow there will be some more rumors.
Always. We're in a boxing world.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Bye, fans.
We need to think of a new advert for freebets.com.
Get your best betting offers from freebets.com.
Yeah, that'll do.
The following deals are now live.